Go ahead and sing. Go ahead and sing. Hey fam, what's up? This is Robert Anton here, robertantonnyc.com, coming to you with your No Frills, the voice commentary from a singer. And tonight is the voice finale. Was it a snooze fest? You tell me down in the comments. I'm gonna tell you what I saw and what happened. It's the Voice Live finale with Jordan Smith, Jeffery Austin, Emily Ann Roberts, and Barrett Baber. They'll be singing 2 solo songs and a song with their coach. One will win a recording contract with Republic Records. All the top 24 were there in the audience. We started out with TeamAdam. Jordan Smith did Climb Every Mountain from The Sound of Music, and Adam told him to make sure one section was really big every time he sang it. I forget what section it was, but that's what I wrote. He also told him that people were inspired by his ability to be inspired. So I'm surprised that Jordan is going first. I don't know, is this the first time? But it was a good open to the show, if just a little sedate and laid back. I liked the setup, and he looked good and was giving a really nuanced performance. A lot of strings and clouds on stage. He hit some amazing runs and falsetto before a choir came out to accompany him for the ending, and he really took this to church vocally once that choir got out there. Just amazing. Oh my God. All the coaches stood for him except Blake. Did you notice that? Blake was like, I'm not gonna win tonight. I got to win. But anyway, Blake said there's nothing left to say because he's always consistently great. For real asked the audience and everyone at home to stand up because it was incredibly moving and fantastic. Gwen said he has a beautiful message for everyone out there. Then TeamBlake had Emily Ann Roberts do Blue Christmas by Elvis, and there was no rehearsal footage for this. She just started singing in her sparkly voice with that twang that was going a little flat. I wasn't really sure of the connection to the song as she was singing it. Just a little upbeat for a sad, you know, Blue Christmas is supposed to be a little sad, and I just wasn't getting that out of this performance. I thought it was a little snoozy, you know. For real mentioned her classic voice and called it different and special. Adam called her the real deal. And if you think I'm the real deal, for the last few times this season, make sure to thumb up the commentary and let me know. I thank you guys so much for your thumbs, and I thank you for sticking with me throughout the season. Next, Barrett Baber and Blake Shelton sang Rhinestone Cowboy by Glen Campbell, and Blake started this out walking through the audience with a nice low tone, and Barrett got the second line from the opposite side of the audience. He had some nice technical vocal moments throughout the song, and they sounded okay together, but this was just a little low energy as far as their stage presence. Barrett was trying to ramp it up, you know, give it that little something vocally, but it came off as them kind of vibing in a bar with friends or something. It wasn't like a big finale performance. Not bad, just didn't seem like a competitive material. TeamGwen was up next, Jeffery Austin doing Oh Holy Night, and we got to see the candle chandeliers as we heard Jeffery start singing with that rich, I wrote succulent tone. I felt like he was really hitting those low notes extra hard tonight, giving us a taste of another part of his voice. At points I was wondering if he might be a little nervous because his tone seemed to be wavering and he seemed to be taking big gulps of breath. He didn't disappoint on the big note though. He nailed that clean and clear and well supported. Adam talked about a sweet part of his voice that shakes the whole room. For real complimented him on his journey and the job done by him and Gwen. Then Jordan Smith and Adam Levine sang God Only Knows by the Beach Boys. And is it me or is this a pretty sleepy finale so far? I'm like, well, I saw many songs that are just like down, like give us some oomph or something. Anyway, I think they did this song last season or the season before also. Adam and Jordan actually sounded good together as they started the song in unison. They kind of looked like a rocker and like an opera diva performing together. You know when they have them mashups and stuff, but this just didn't really show off Jordan's voice at all, and he even looked a little bored to me. Did you think he looked bored? Let me know down in the comments. TeamBlake was up next with Barrett Baber doing Die a Happy Man by Rhett, and Blake told him to find somewhere to have a big note at the end, then told him music is what he's meant to do. So Barrett started this out with a little ooh, you know, and I was like, all right, come on, bring it on in. And he had his guitar hanging off his neck but wasn't playing it, but he did eventually start strumming. This was pretty clear and concise vocally. He had a great tone and set a good mood. I felt like he really felt the story behind the words and conveyed it well. He also pulled out quite a few higher notes in this, but that's not where his voice really shines. He does that mid-tone growl thing that really puts him over the top. Gwen said she felt like she was on another planet during the whole thing and said his energy was so strong. Adam called Barrett one of his favorite people and said he always enjoys what he does from day one. Emily Ann Roberts and Blake Shelton performed Islands in the Stream by Dolly, Parton, and Kenny Rogers, and they sounded pretty good together in the studio. And on stage, Blake attacked it as he sang. I was enjoying their harmony and nice blend. It did seem like she wasn't really getting a solo on this. Mostly Blake was being featured. Then her verse finally came up, and I was like, oh, okay. At points, it seemed a little high in her voice and became nasal and tinny. This was cute, though it seemed just a little detached for me. TeamGwen next had Jeffery do Stay by Sugarland, and I couldn't help but think how his tone and sound was so different starting this song from the last song he did. He has so many diverse sounds in his vocal production from his top to his bottom. It almost sounds like different voices. He was giving this the full emotional treatment, so much intensity and passion with great vocal control, and I think he may be a little sick tonight. I'm not sure, but he seems like his eyes were just a little red or something, and he seemed like to be clearing his, maybe he had a little phlegm or something, but he did a great job. If he's sick, baby, he sang the heck out of this sick. Blake told him that he likes him doing country and said that he snuck up on all of them. Pharrell agreed with Blake and said he's inspiring somebody to do what they're supposed to do with their lives. Next, TeamBlake had Barrett Baber do Silent Night, and y'all know I like when somebody comes in on a little woo or a little riff before the lyrics. For me it just kind of sets the tone, and Barrett didn't disappoint. He came in with that ooh, and I was like, okay, go ahead, old boy. I liked his back phrasing on this and the way he slid into the notes, although sometimes he didn't slide far up enough. His humming in the middle was a little off, and he lost his pitch when he opened the vowels too wide, but he wailed away on this at points and had me in my feelings, y'all. I was like, oh, go ahead and sing, boy. Go ahead and sing. Pharrell said his life story comes out every time he sings. Adam said he's still amazing, and he's been a huge fan of Barrett's. Jeffery, Austin, and Gwen Stefani then performed Leather and Lace by Don Henley and Stevie Nicks, and this sounded interesting in Gwen's voice as she started, and they had Jeffery watching in the dark. I was just waiting for him to sing. I'm serious. I think they clashed on the first harmony, but it was better the second round. Jeffrey's solo was so raw and intense, but their harmony again after that wasn't great. I could have done without this duet tonight. It was just too up and down. I wasn't really crazy about it. TeamAdam was up next with Jordan Smith doing Married Did You Know, and I love this song so much, and I did an acoustic version on my cover channel. I will put up a link for you. It's not as great as Jordan's though, so don't even, compare it, but anyway, I'll link it for you. Jordan started this with his beautiful tone and just caressed those notes in the beginning. Very tender opening with nice small embellishments. He got serious when he hit the bridge and nailed the big note before riffing into the third verse. This was perfection, just amazing. All the coaches stood for him, including Blake, and Pharrell said the people are ready for him to make a record. And in the pimp spot tonight was TeamBlake with Emily Ann Roberts. She did Burning House by Cam. Blake told her if there's ever a song to get lost in, that it's this one. So she had a burning doorway behind her as this started, with her hair looking kind of like a mad woman. I don't know, it was all around her face and stuff, and I was like, okay. I liked how she handled the little chromatic sections, very crisp and precise. She seemed to really connect to the lyrics, and I could feel her singing this to someone and reliving the memories she was talking about. I really felt this and was shaking my head in commiseration. I was just like, tell the story, girl. Go ahead on. Tell the story. All the coaches stood for her. Gwen called it her favorite of Emily so far and said she knows how to deliver the intention of the lyric. Pharrell called it flawless. What did you think of tonight's performances? Let me know down in the comments. Give me two different things. Who do you think is going to win, and who would you really like to win? The results show tomorrow night is a little confusing. It's supposed to be a 2-hour finale which starts at 9 o'clock, but there's something also going on at 8 o'clock. I don't know what it is. We'll see. They will also have Coldplay, Missy Elliott, Tori Kelly, Justin Bieber, and more performing. I'll see you there. This is Robert Anton, robertantonnyc.com. We are at the finale, and I am out. Peace.